One last guide for SN-10, and this one is featuring only Elite 1 operators. Yes, you hear me right, no Elite 2 at all. The reason that I wanted to make a guide like this is because the recommended average level is apparently Elite 1 level 70. It got me thinking, with such a menacing boss, how can the developers be so certain that an Elite 1 only squad is able to handle a stage like this? So I Love Amiya has done a beautiful YouTube video where he did it with only 3 stars, which is pretty tricky to do. But this time, I want to show you guys a variant which is using only 4 stars. So this is the squad that we're going to have. There's going to be some familiar 4 stars and very unfamiliar ones as well. And the branches that I get to feature this time around are very uncommon ones. So you've got a Mech Accord Caster, a Wandering Medic, a Musha, a Merchant, a Tactician, and an Arts Defender. So these are like branches that appear later in the game of Arknights. So very interesting stuff for me to be able to put here. Jay is using his skill 1, which is able to silence the enemies. Then we have Utage on skill 2, it's like a mini Surtur. A Chestnut is able to heal the elemental damage. Click is able to stun while dealing a lot of arts damage. Dunner is an arts damage dealer, and Beanstalk is able to summon her metal crabs. So we're going to see how all of these things can synergize together later on. And speaking of synergy, we're also going to talk about the components. So there are 2 components that I get to show in this guide and not in the previous ones. So this one states Hand of Saint is able to bounce between walls, repeatedly stunning and inflicting damage. It's a very powerful component. I think some people don't really know how it works, so we'll see that later on. And there's also one more that says Operator gains 1 block. This is a very fascinating module. So as much as the other one is very good as well, increasing the stun, cold and frozen duration, this one can have its very strong users. So let's see how all of these come together, starting from now. SN-10, one last time. Alright, I'll start the stage by placing a Beanstalk first, along with her Metal Crab. And then Jay's gonna handle the first phase of the boss. Once it's done, I'm gonna just retreat him. And then observe Beanstalk's Metal Crab. You can see that it's actually blocking 2 enemies at once. This is thanks to the attachment that we were talking about just now, where it states operators can gain 1 more block. So it also applies to summons, interestingly speaking, and that's kind of why you can see Beanstalk being super useful here. I'm gonna let her spawn an extra Metal Crab so that she can block more. I'm placing Dunner there, along with a Chestnut. Chestnut's range is thankfully super huge, so it allows him to heal people across even wider of a range, like both the bottom lane and the middle lane later on. I'm gonna turn on Dunner's skill so that she's able to do AoE arts damage there. Placing Jay over here. Now Jay's skill 1 is able to silence enemies, so this will stop this particular enemy from spreading the Nether Sea Brand. I'm gonna turn on Beanstalk's skill to gain some DP. And then I'll be watching Jay's health right now because I don't want him to die. So if he's getting a little bit scary, I'm just gonna turn on Chestnut's skill to save him there. Then I can retreat him. Now if you watch the previous guides that I've done, I told you guys the trick whereby you can actually kill the enemies at the blue or red box in order to stop them from spawning the Nether Sea Brand. So that's what we're gonna do for that particular enemy on the left. We'll kill him at the blue box so that he can't spawn it. Once Utage is done, I'll retreat her and change for a J. And I'll turn on Click skill to help with some stunning. Gonna gain some DP here. And there you go, that's how we can take out the guy on the top and also allow him to not, or disallow him from spreading the Nether Sea Brand. And then we wait until you can redeploy your operators all over again. So, you don't have to be too wary about stalling a guy like at the bottom. As long as his health doesn't fall below 50% HP, he can't spawn the Nether Sea Brand just yet. So now that I place a J down, then we can try to lower his health even more, so that then no Nether Sea Brand, thanks to J. Okay, I'm gonna put a Click here, along with a Beanstalk. Let me turn on Dunner's skill to help. And then first wave is pretty much done. I'll show you guys what the bouncy Hand of Saint can do. Watch this. So I lined it up against the wall, and look at the amount of damage that it managed to deal against the boss. So that's the power of the second version of the Hand of Saint module. So this is very helpful. Now Click only needs to apply less damage to deal with the problem later on. Okay, I'm gonna retreat J. Wait for Dunner Scale to charge. There you go, beautiful stuff. Then the boss is gonna come straight down. And then we'll use Clicks and Dunner Scale to deal with him. Right, let's turn Click's heal on. Let me get more beats by putting the Metal Crab in. Let's turn on Dunner Scale as well, so that Dunner can punch the heck out of this boss. There you go, just like that. Okay, next one. I'm gonna put J right here to handle these boys and silence them, removing their dodge. Once this guy starts walking into the blue box, I will put Utage against him. Just like that. Alright, I can let J go now, leaving one enemy stray to go back down. Okay, then Utage will hold on to the guy. She's able to gain HP per hit, which is making her survive pretty darn well there. Okay, I'm gonna let this go. Then I will kill this one at the blue box. Just like that. Notice how my Metal Crab is actually down at the moment and is recovering. The interesting thing about the +1 block module is that even for something like a Tactician Summon, when it's down, it still has 1 block count, which is allowing me to block this guy right here. We're gonna put that to good use later on, the full power of that +1 module. Right, so J is done. I'm gonna feed the boss the buff that says immune to various statuses, and the boss will not have any dodge chance later on, because it's further away. Right, J is helping to just kill out there. I'm gonna retreat him. Yes, let them take the time to kill. And then, next phase, here we go. I'm gonna turn on Click skill to handle against the boss. Then observe this vertical lane. So I'm gonna put Utage there, along with a J. So I'm preventing any enemies from going into the boss lane, because the boss has a very high block count requirement at the moment. Anyone who goes past, you might not be able to handle them. Okay, I'm gonna retreat Utage and J now that they're done, and I'll also retreat Click. Once this guy in the middle over here gets killed, eventually, I'll retreat Beanstalk as well. So we chill, we wait out, we need to redeploy some people. Now, let's go. We're gonna put Click first, right over here, facing upwards, very similar to how I did my low rarity guide. And then I'm gonna put Beanstalk back in the spot that she was in. So it can be a little bit confusing why I'm doing this, but you cannot change the position of the Metal Crab without redeploying your Tactician. So by redeploying her, I'm going to put the Metal Crab in a new place later on. Right? So Beanstalk is sitting right there. And then I'm going to turn on the other skill to deal with the boss. Hey, we've got visitors. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to put a J, and I'm going to do the bouncy thing against this enemy. I'm gonna use 2 against him. Alright. Let's wait for this guy to kind of like walk close. Once he walks into the second tower right behind the current enemy, I'll put the Utage down. Okay, J can be retreated. He's done with his lane. Alright, go for the kill Click. Almost there. And then I'll kill it such that it actually dies right over here. Watch this. Dana has just been killed. But the interesting thing is, remember I said that when this thing goes down, it actually still has 1 block. So we're actually perma-stalling this particular enemy right over here. Whoa, interesting stuff, isn't it? Now, the boss is gonna eat the ability to attack 3 targets later on. It's very, very scary, but we're gonna deal with it. Right, so wait for some redeployment to happen. I'm gonna put Click right here. So just let Click slowly peel away this particular enemy. And then once it's almost killed, what I'm gonna do is I will retreat Beanstalk and switch for Gunner. Just like that. We're gonna handle some enemies here. I'm gonna put a J to handle the top part over there. And let's turn on click skill. And then I'll also help out with a Utage. Be wary of Gunner's health. You don't want it to fall too low. So I'll turn on Chestnut skill whenever I feel. Right, so we're dealing with that top part over there. Jay is pretty much done. I'll retreat him. Right, then we've got these enemies over here. Oh, I really gotta be wary for poor Dunner's health now. It's like falling so damn low. Okay, I'm gonna use one of the... Okay, let me just use click stun against the boss. There you go, so beautiful. Okay, gonna just put a metal crab just right over there. Right, Click is a little bit in the danger zone right now because once these guys walk up to the crab, she's gonna get hit, like you see. Gonna just put J here, deal with them a bit more. I still have an extra Roomba that I can use if I want to, but I didn't need to. There you go! 4 stars dealing with this stage, and it's a very fun squad to try out. Hopefully this video gives you some learning lessons, whether it's the unfamiliar branches or the components that you've never seen before. We're going to EX stages in a short little while. I hope this stage will help you with that. Alright, okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!